Parents whose kids go to a New York City prep school are outraged over a survey that asked students to identify their political beliefs and share their thoughts on race and gender. Nicole Neily, president of Parents Defending Education, joins me now. Nicole, I'm going to put up on the screen these questions that these kids were asked in the survey. First one's on gender. How do you describe yourself? Transgender, variant, nonconforming. Then we go to the next one on their sexual orientation. What kind of person asks these questions to a 10-year-old, Nicole?
Right, it's a great question. And when parents found out, they were rightfully outraged and they raised a stink. And you know what? To the school's great credit, they walked it back, they apologized, and they said that they deleted all the data. So to many parents, success looks different. But in this case, I do give the school credit for realizing that they really overstepped and to apologize.
There were also questions on race that really seemed designed to divide the children. Why do these so-called educators seem so insistent on dividing kids into race and making them think about race when, quite frankly, we all know kids really don't see race. They see all the kids that they hang out with as equals.
Well, unfortunately, I think there's definitely a school of thought right now where, being colorblind is considered a bad thing. You have to be color conscious, which is, to most of us that seems like racism. Unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of this being very agenda driven and definitely forced through surveys like this. You might remember last year during all the National School Board Association scandal, Panorama Education shocked to America's consciousness because they have been conducting surveys like this in thousands of schools across America. They claim credit for speaking to more than 15 million K-12 students, asking them questions like this, which should be something that worries every American parent.
Nicole, enough is enough. And I think that's a common refrain from so many parents across our nation right now. What can parents do to put a stop to things like this?
Sure, we encourage all parents to be mindful if their school has an opt-out provision for these surveys and to fill out that opt-out form so that your child is not asked these questions. We learned recently in Northern Virginia, opt-outs don't carry through in certain schools from year to year. And so we're going to encourage everybody to be very diligent because this kind of information is collected and we just don't know how it will be used against us. And frankly, how that data mined information will be weaponized in the future. On average, 1 to 2 school districts a day are hacked. And so this is something that should worry and concern every parent about what's happening to their children.
You mentioned the response from the school. Let me read it here. Quote, this is from Poly Prep. We did the survey because we are always working to improve our culture of inclusion and belonging, and assessment is part of that process. But like you said, they sort of walked back from this survey, and it's a warning to all parents out there. If you're asked to do a survey, if your kids are asked to do a survey, pay attention. The warning signs should go up. Nicole Neily, as always, thank you very much. We appreciate it.